Hello, this is Vexx, and welcome back to Tyranny. You may recall in our last video, we actually spoke with our fellow Fatebinders, I should say, and Barrick. And I think we're gonna poke a few bears to start off. Let's go speak with these disfavored elites, who we definitely betrayed earlier. I am duty bound to remain civil to you in the vaunted court, but don't push it, traitor. What about the... Oh, that's Bitter Quip, actually. We already... Bitter Quip, Mocking Blaze, and I don't know who this Blood Mulch is. I don't think we met him. Or her. He ignores you with a stern and distant expression. I'd immolate you where you stand if it weren't for Tunon breathing down our necks. Okay, yeah, they don't say anything.
I got it.
Okay. Oh, who's this lady Lucretius? This well-dressed old woman stands apart from the milling crowds of nobles. She stares off into the distance, oblivious to your approach until you are right in front of her. Oh, greetings, she offers a reserved smile. Ada Lucretius, formerly of Thistleholm. You have the look of someone who belongs here. Fatebinder, no doubt, she nods. Do you need something from me? What are all these nobles doing in Tunon's court? She smirks and shakes her head. Trying to look brave, I warrant. But if you crane an ear to any of their conversations, you'll hear a different tale. 3 years since Tunon set up shop in the Bastard City, we're still getting used to our new masters and figuring out what we can and can't ask them about. She nods to the assembled nobles. These are smart, ring-plenty folk. The way they approach Tunon, you'd think they were raised under a tyrant's lash. Some have come to settle a grievance, others to pledge fealty. I've been standing around long enough to know that the adjudicator doesn't care for empty gestures. How has the Bastard City fared since the conquest? Kairos' forces took the city as we expected them to, without mercy or restraint. The Scarlet Chorus spilled more blood than we had to give. We suffered our share of hardships, but it seems that Kairos wants us alive. That's a more generous outcome than some of us were led to believe. Okay, I can't read apparently. What brings a noble like yourself to Tunon's court? A frown cracks under her pleasant demeanor, like the rest of the frightened inbreds here. Lovely. I came to see Tunon and ask him to right a wrong. My manor was destroyed during the conquest. I told the adjudicator my woes, but he didn't exactly see eye to eye. Tell me about yourself. I'm the daughter of a noble house. We were wealthy enough to live in the city, but our means beyond there were limited. My mother dealt in fish, textiles, and bronze. By the time I inherited, the business was taking care of itself. She sighs. Of course, all of that changed. Thistleholm is no more, and my name has none of its former weight. Even if we were still in business, Kairos' laws would stifle our trading rights. Perhaps there's a better way. What is Thistleholm? She keeps mentioning it. A great sigh deflates her. It was my family's ancestral home. My forebears' home. The oldest stones dated back to the years when the Bastard City was naught but a dozen roofs and wagons clustered for warmth. Compared to the houses of the great lords, it was nothing special. Age had softened the wood, and its queer placement in the warehouse district set it apart from the finer grounds where lords and ladies strolled for amusement. It was a mess, but our mess all the same. I would invite you over for tea, or something stronger even, but it would only disappoint. You'll have naught there but a gaping hole. Hey, what happened? Collateral damage happened. When the adjudicator cast his judgment on the bastard city, he destroyed the districts of the corrupt merchant kings, their manors, their counting houses, and yes, their warehouses. Aged, dignified Thistleholm collapsed as a massive sinkhole appeared under her foundation. The bastard city's laws may not have been perfect by Kairos' standards, but my family followed them with respect and never took a copper ring more than we deserved. I can't help but feel that my estate was not the criminal Tunon had in mind during his sentencing. What are you going to do next? That's the question, isn't it? I appealed to the adjudicator, thinking he would see reason. After considering my case for all of 8 seconds, he awarded me a belt of rings and a plot of land on the outskirts of the city. Tunon told me to build anew and start farming. Farming! Can you believe that? She shakes her head. It's not even that I'm opposed to the labor, but we're in a war. I can't have the Scarlet Chorus breathing down my neck, raiding my crops, and Kairos knows what else. Okay, got a couple of choices here. Tunon's word is Kairos' law. Whether you think it fair or not, Kairos' law were made to serve the masses, not the individual. Stop whining and take your rings. Justice is done. Or finally, the Scarlet Courts are dogs. I suggest you use the rings to higher protection. That might be a good choice, actually. I'm gonna go with that one, actually. But we gain wrath with the Scarlet Chorus for that. Well, they already hate us, don't they? And isn't that the most backward cycle of ring trading I ever heard? But it casts a light on something I've been thinking while standing here, watching Tunon go about his business. I come from a long line of smart, ring-savvy merchants, but even I can't reconcile Tunon's justice without Kairos' law. There's something wrong about that. Maybe Tunon knows something I don't, or maybe she trails off, shaking her head in doubt. Oh, this could be traitorous. What do you mean? People here come for justice. They usually get a version of it, but it's Tunon's version, not theirs. Half of the time, they don't even get what they wanted out of the ruling in their favor. She shakes her head. The deed to a farm, for instance. Not to put my own ignorance on display, but if more people knew how Kairos' law worked, they might not come here seeking a ruling at all, even a fair one. Tunon is a servant of law, but he's the Overlord's vassal as much as any of us. Sometimes it seems like he uses his position to twist everything in the Empire's favor. We're just pieces on a board, and he can move us wherever the law justifies that we stand. That doesn't sound, well, legal. Now we can go over with, again, Kairos defines law. This isn't for either of us to question. Tunon isn't one to change his mind. Unfair as it may seem, the ruling stands. You should know better than to speak ill of the adjudicator in my presence. I can only endeavor to bring true justice to the tears, or we can use our subterfuge. Fascinating. Now, how much is my silence worth to you, ungrateful one? Ooh, we can bribe her. I'm gonna just say, you should know better than to speak ill of the adjudicator in my presence. We are a Fatebinder, after all. Forgive me for running my mouth. Before the war, it took more than a harsh word to find one of blood-marked daggers in your back. But times have clearly changed, haven't they? Good day, Fatebinder. Oh, and that's all she has to say. Anyone else to talk to here? It doesn't look like it. Alright. What's going on? Oh, I recognize him. It's Bled and Mark. Welcome back, kid. Amusing as it would have been to watch the edict dropped, I guess I'm glad you lived. Bled and Mark, Arcana of Shadows rouses from a faraway stare. turning to face you with a wry smile. Though he stands still, he seems to sift in and out of the shadows that sit around him. At first, his words seem odd. After all, you two have met. After all, you two have met in Ashenweld between the edict breaking over Vedran's well and now. But when you shoot him a curious look, he raises his red pointed eyebrows in return, a secretive smirk quirking the right corner of his mouth. Clearly, he doesn't want you mentioning your clandestine meeting in the presence of the court. Okay. Now we could say, yeah, it's good to see you after so long. We could nod subtly. We could shrug, or what do you mean you guess you're glad I lived? I'm going to go with that one, see what he means. He studies you in answer, his eyes sharp with amusement and a dark hidden knowledge. Want to know something? The Archon's voice ends on a playful melody, and the red face paint above his jawline increases with a smile. Uh-oh. Now we can go, only if I'm not going to regret knowing it. You can glance behind you to ensure that you're not being overheard and nod once. Or we can keep walking. No, I'm going to go glance behind us. We gain favor for that, being cautious. You won in a lose-lose situation. Not saying the Adjudicator was wrong to send you into certain death. Someone had to read the edict. But I like your type, kid. You're the right combination of capable and too damn stubborn to die that not only survives, but thrives on suicide missions. Yeah, we're pretty awesome. The Archon's fighting damn well didn't help your chances. Can't say I'd have done different if it was my life on the line. Everyone's keeping an eye on you because you did something nobody else has done before. Got a guess of what that might be? Okay, we can choose. I'm the first Fatebinder to engage in war against an allied soldiers. Probably not. I'm the first Fatebinder to proclaim 2 edicts. Actually, that might be. I'm the first to resolve an edict before its consequences came to pass. Or I'm the first Fatebinder to awaken a spire on the old walls. The first person to take an evasive stance against your rhetorical questions. Let me guess. I'm the first Fatebinder decided that Kairos decided to promote to the some position of authority. Wait, what position of authority? Or we can glare silent. We can glare silently or just say, can you just tell me? I'm going to guess that we're the first Fatebinder to proclaim 2 edicts. Gain favor for that. Smart guess. But there's been a few others over the centuries who have outlived the honor of honor of proclamation twice. But sure, it's true that most don't survive it. Proclaiming an edict isn't new, neither surviving or resolving the commandments of an edict. But you're the first to proclaim and resolve the very same edict, and it didn't kill you. In one fell swoop, you survived your second edict, resolved the very one you had proclaimed, and woke an arcane structure that had slept for centuries. Now we can ask him, why should I care about this? So, why are you telling me this? Did I do something wrong? We can glare silently at him or ask, and now I'm on the short list of people who stand out as potential problems. Yeah, probably. So I'm going to go with the fourth option there. Gain more favor with him. More or less. Mostly more. He offers you a dangerous grin. We have no wrath with him at all. We're almost at tier 3 favor. I don't care what you do with the information, but you should know the danger you're in, and that you've put yourself on the map. Since you don't seem big on playing nice with the Archons, you can bet both of their armies are going to try and cut you down as you go forward. Watch out for the knife in your back. we can say thanks for the advice, or wait, there's so much I want to ask you. I'm gonna see if he'll answer some questions, actually. Not now. Try me someplace with fewer prying eyes and listening ears. Well, thanks for the advice. You gain favor for him again. The Archon of Shadows shrugs to you in farewell, but his golden eyes are alight with interest as he watches you. Oh, notice he didn't disappear. I wonder if we can talk to him some more. Alright. There's a reason you're gaping at me like I gutted you, kid? Or do you just like to stand around here? Oh, because we have favor 3. We have favor 3, apparently. Oh, and we're almost halfway to 4. You can actually say the bracer you're wearing is rather eye-catching. I bet you're thinking something like it'd look even better on you, right, kid? This? He waves his arm in the air, examining the buckler and the blacker and black bracer. Examining the blacker than black bracer. The strapping armlet that appears simultaneously solid as obsidian and I don't know what that word is, as a sigh. Almost a living, pulsing thing. That's my binding of shadows. Want it? You just give it to me? Why? Okay, we have favor for that. Try it on and find out. He grins, teeth stark, flat, and wide. I like you, kid. I wouldn't steer you wrong. Sure, hand it over. We got the binding of shadows. With a griff grunt and some difficulty, he wrenches the bracer off. So it is solid after all, and tosses it to you one-handed. Careful with it, kid, he warns when you accept the gift. Not only weapons can be double-edged swords. Okay, we got an item. Oh, our power is increased because we increased the bracelet of shadows. The bracer binding of shadows. It's actually a piece of armor, which gives us shade skin. Gives us a little more armor, lowers our recovery and protection. Now I am going to equip it.
I'll just hold on to this.
Okay. You do that. Okay, go in the... there we are. Now we got... where's that? There it is. Reputation. Now that is actually an artifact. Worn for centuries by Bled and Mark, Archon of Shadows. The Binding of Shadows have absorbed some of the deadly assassin's ability to manipulate darkness. Now, this actually gives us Shadow's Embrace. It makes all damage minus 10% damage taken for 40 seconds. Oh, but it's increases arcane damage on hit for 30 seconds. Wait, or is that good? I'm not sure. But the more we use it, the more the renown goes up. Now that is actually a one-time use item per rest. So we can't keep using it. Or this skill, I should say. It is, however, a pretty useful item.
On it.
Alright. Wait. Looks... am I seeing things, or does Verse want to talk?
At your service, Fatebinder. What do you need?
No, I'm seeing things. Alright, well, let's see. Well, we don't need to go anywhere in the Bastard City. Alright, now, if you remember, Bled and Mark wanted us to go to the Burning Library. However, we are actually really close to the Sunset Spire, which, if you may remember, is also Lethian's Crossing. So why don't we head there? This is where we spent the second year of the war. It's going to take us a while to get there, of course, but hopefully we get there unscathed. Nope, we are ambushed by mercenaries. Okay, oh yeah, this, I remember this. This is a scripted event, so to speak. Alright, so let's go in. Guess it's wanting us to go over here. Looks like there's a path. You must be joking, Toll. I will pay no such thing. I demand to get through. Sorry, no one passes through without paying. This guy's name is Aster. Small figure stands for some armored-clad soldiers. His arms move wildly as he gestures in frustration, yelling at the man directly in front of him. Absolutely not. I've come through Anhead Trail more times than I can remember. No one has ever asked for a toll before, and I won't be paying one now. He notices you standing nearby and turns to speak. Fatebinder, surely you of all people can help me. My name's Asa, and I must get to Lethian's Crossing. I have goods to deliver. Tell this man I will not be paying a toll, to him or to anyone, and he is to let me through. He folds his arms over his chest and nods in a pronounced finality. Greetings, Fatebinder. I'm sorry you have to be drawn into this. You stumbled into it here is merely a conflict of the changing times. I'm Will of the Bronze Brotherhood. Anhead Trail is under our protection, and anyone passing through here must obey our rules. If this gentleman would like passage through our land, a simple donation is required. He holds out his hands. These funds help our cause and keep Anhead safe, a safe place for all travelers. Clearly you both want to see the value in that. Aster speaks, his arms swaying around again, emphasizing his words. And who exactly is keeping it safe? You standing there with your weapons at the ready against me? His arms drop as he turns to you again. I'm not but a traveling merchant. I have no money to spare, and I certainly pose no threat to anyone. Keep this area safe indeed. He points at Will. You are the only threat here. Fatebinder, please, talk some sense to the man. Okay, now we can actually pay the merchant's way. We can talk to Will. This man will not be paying a toll today. Call your guards off and allow us passage immediately. We can tell the merchant, just because you passed through here before means nothing. Pay the toll now or head back. You try my patience. Or we could go, you're wasting my time. You're on your own, merchant. Let's see. Should we... I'm just going to tell Will this man's going through. We gain favor with Lethian's Crossing for that. Thank you, Fatebinder. You have done a great deal of good today. I can't read. Aster bows dramatically. He turns back to the soldier. And you, brutes, move aside and let me pass. Will holds his position and gives you a meaningful look. Perhaps you want to reconsider your stance on the matter, Fatebinder. He plants his hammer on the ground and leans on it, staring Aster down. Passage is bought with rings or blood, but I'll happily take both. Okay, we could say, I stand by my decision. We could pay the toll for Aster. Again, we could say, pay the toll, merchant, or you're on your own. I'm going to stand by our decision. Aster raises his hand in protest. I thank you for your efforts, Fatebinder, but it is not worth bloodshed. I will leave in peace. And he goes back the way he came. Will returns to his position and looks over you, his former genial mood gone. So, Fatebinder in our little corner of the world. Who would have ever thought this would happen again? He spits between his teeth and then crashes it into the dirt with his boot. You're walking dangerous land, Fatebinder. The Broad's Brotherhood never backed down from threats. He poses for a moment, sizing you up. Normally I knock you down where you stand for threatening me, but Rudimond demanded to see you if you came through here. I thought he was crazy saying you'd be visiting Lethian's Crossing. Looks like I owe him a few rings. He shakes the pouch around his neck. making the rings inside, making the rings jiggle melodically. Well, there's a short of those around here. What can this humble servant of the Bronze Brotherhood do for you, Fatebinder? And don't ask me to let you through, because that ain't happening. First is loyalty. Someone made the mistake of giving this little man too much power, and he's about to discover what happens when you stand in my way. Alright. You can, let's let Verse say, move him. If you think you can get him to move, do it. With pleasure. Hey, shit meat. Do you plan on moving your ass this century, or do you have to stand here jawing like a bunch of graybeards? We're on a mission, and staring at your ugly mug and catching up on the past won't get it done any faster. Are you going to move on, or do I need to start cutting? Because I'm partial to either option. The mercenary mouth hangs open in disbelief. He swallows and attempts to gather his pride. I would help you, but my boss told me to guard this bridge. No one gets by without Ramadon's petition. We gained wrath from the Bronze Brotherhood. Kairos, give me strength. You deserve this far more than I'm going to enjoy it. First swings her fists and lands a punch with a meaty whack, snapping back the mercenary's head. Will rubs his cheek. Hold on. I'm just doing my job. I apologize if I offended. Rodomon will have my head if I let you through. There's nothing I can do about it. Who's this running up? Oh, this is that Rudimon guy. Well, you're talking to Will, a striking man with a shock of bright blonde hair approaches, moving away from some men searching bodies of slain soldiers to the south. He watches you intently as he closes, his angular features pulling into a look of disdain. And here's the Fatebinder. He doesn't mask the displeasure in his voice. I knew he'd see you. I was just wondering when. We gained wrath from him. One trip to Lethian's Crossing isn't enough, Governor. He doesn't even mask the contempt in his voice. Again. You had to return where no one asked you to come. Throwing me out of my home wasn't sufficient. Are you here to disrupt my life some more? He looks at his men, when stopping to watch the conversation. You aren't done! He flicks his hand at them, and they return to their searching. It doesn't really matter why you're here. I don't care. I have more important things to worry about. In case you've forgotten me already, my name's Rudimon. I'm First Brother, leader of the Bronze Brotherhood. But I'm sure you already know that. I couldn't help but see you over here, talking to Will and that traveling merchant. Only here for a moment, and you're already sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. I don't appreciate you invading my territory, Fatebinder. I told him he had to speak with you, Rodomon. He wanted through, but I told him no. If you don't give me the signal, Fatebinder isn't getting into Lethian's Crossing. No one will invade your territory. Rudimon stares at Will for a few moments, lips pursed, then continues as if Will never spoke. Watch yourself. You are a guest in my land. If you've come to stir up more trouble, we are well equipped and will not back down in the defense of what is rightfully ours. He sweeps his arm in front of him, gesturing to the surrounding countryside. Welby and I might not always agree, but there is one point we see eye to eye on. If you step out of line, we will both correct you. His eyes narrow and he leans towards you. You are not welcome here. Now tell me what you want or leave. Oh, got a whole bunch of options here. You do well to watch your tone when speaking to a Fatebinder. Rudimon laughs howlily. I care not about Kairos' forces. I've already reaped the rewards of my loyalty and will not make that mistake again. You've taken my home, but I will have it back. I won't cower when you raise your voice against me, lapdog. I'm not welcome in your land. This isn't your land anymore. Gain more wrath for them. They really don't like us. Such arrogance is the precursor of a mighty fall, Fatebinder. I might not currently have control of Lethian's Crossing, but we both have no possessions are fleeting. Lethian's Crossing is my home, and your imagined control over our lives doesn't change that fact. You may remember in the conquest phase, the Bronze Brotherhood were the protectors of Lethian's Crossing, which Tunon, I believe it was Tunon, it may have been Voices in Arat, managed to convince them to surrender to Kairos in a bloodless victory. Anyway, let's ask, why are you charging travelers a toll to get through Ironhead Trail? I don't see how the affairs of the Brotherhood are your business, Fatebinder. Suffice to say, the funds we receive from our tolls keep the lands around Lethian's Crossing safe. We are owed our dues, and we shall have them. Yes, let's ask him about the Bronze Brotherhood. We are a humble group with noble, long-held traditions on the side of the right and honor. Ronan's voice fills with pride. If there is an injustice that needs to be rectified, we are called. A week ago, you sound like upstanding citizens, or you're hired mercenaries. I'm going to just play nice, which we gain favor for. Yes, we are, Fatebinder. Rudiman's face breaks into a giant smile. I'm glad someone finally sees us for what we are. I'm tired of people calling us mercenaries and sellswords, so we get paid for what we do. We need to live. I need to get to Lethian's Crossing, Rudiman. He considers our request for a moment. If I let you through, you must promise to behave. I have had enough problems dealing with everyone else. I don't need the hassle of keeping an eye on you, too. So watch yourself. I might not currently have control of the city, but I have eyes everywhere. If you stir up trouble, I will know. He turns to Will. Let the Fatebinder through. Do nothing to delay or accost this party, or you'll answer to me. Will gives us a quick salute. Now, he mentioned this Webley guy. Let's ask him about Webley. Oh, we access Lethian's Crossing now. Shoots a look to the north. I had such high hopes for her as my first axe. The continued success of the Brotherhood should be the single most important goal for anyone who is a member. She seems to have forgotten her place. She is not the head of this band. I am. If she doesn't stop overreaching, I will have to replace her with someone who knows how to obey. Let's ask him why Lethian's so important to the Bronze Brotherhood. We were asked to do a job, and we did it. Then what happens? You throw us out of our home. He makes an emphatic gesture to the north, towards Lethian's Crossing. By all rights, the city is ours, and suddenly Kairos wants it. I intend to get it back. I refuse to let this matter die. We protected the crossing for years, and even ensured Kairos' forces could do business here when Narat asked us to. Yeah, it was Voices in Narat. No, we did the job, and we were asked. And this land belongs to us. You said you don't do it for money, but why are you fighting for Lethian's Crossing? I don't appreciate your tone or the implications that you are saying, Fatebinder. Ridamon's eyes are hard and his voice flat. This is a mere matter of principle. We performed a service and we were paid for that service. Don't try to glibly explain away a complex situation. This is our home. This is my home. I will have it. No one else. Now, if all you've come to do is insult me and mine, I would suggest you leave. Later. I certainly hope that isn't the case. You got Rodeman's permission to go, Fatebinder, so go. Alright, we are able to cross. without bloodshed. Yay us. Alright, now before continuing on, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys have a great day.